And also the previous awardees, although I think only one could come tonight, of this Franco-German Prize for Human Rights and the Rule of Law. Dear colleagues, dear representatives from the civil society, dear journalists, dear guests, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome at this residence with my German colleague, Mr. Pirbhu Satyani, and his relatives, but you said your daughter was supposed to be... Please come. My warm congratulations to you, of course, on this award, which along with 13 other winners from different countries, was nominated for this very selective award. German and French embassies around the world had put forward many candidates, only 14 were selected, including you, Mr. Satyani, so felicitations. I warmly greet your daughter tonight, of course, and I think she can be very proud. I'm not sure he was already, but even more tonight, of her father. I would like to recall that since 2016, France and Germany have used International Human Rights Day, which as you know is tomorrow, as an opportunity to jointly pay tribute to individuals around the world who have shown outstanding commitment to promoting human rights. Through this prize, our two countries wish to show their support for the action and to honor civil society's commitment for human dignity and the inalienable human rights of all people. For nearly 10 years now, the Franco-German Prize has recognized the action, the dedication, and often the great courage of human rights defenders, journalists, women and men who concretely act in defense of freedom of expression, against torture, arbitrary detention, impunity, or enforced disappearances, also against violence against women and promotion of equality between women and men, and against all forms of discrimination. Before you, Mr. Satyani, two Pakistani citizens were awarded this prize in 2016 and in 2020. Sarah Belal, founder and director of Justice Project Pakistan, JPP, who does an admirable work monitoring the death penalty in Pakistan and abroad, among many other things. And Mrs. Naya Valley, a great activist for minority rights, including transgender rights, who was kind enough to join us tonight. Welcome to you, of course. Sarah Belal could not join us as she's currently abroad, but I greet Mr. Haris Taki from JPP, who represents her this evening. JPP is a great partner of our embassy and many other embassies in Islamabad, and I wish to stress the quality of their activities and of our cooperation. Mr. Pirbhu Satyani, as a fervent defender of minority rights, women's and children's rights, particularly in Sindh, you were a natural, almost obvious candidate for this prize, but I would also thank Valerie Khan, who was kind enough to prompt your name, I would say, among many other candidates. You have been a program manager of the National Commission for the Rights of the Child, with which the embassy frequently cooperates. And although she could not come tonight, as she is also out of the country, let me pay tribute to Mrs. Aisha Farouk's action and engagement for the children of Pakistan. Your work and studies, Mr. Satyani, are well known and recognized concerning the situation of the Dalit community, which is doubly marginalized as a minority group among minority communities, in this case the Hindu and Christian communities. And you will tell us more about this in a moment. But I would like to again warmly congratulate you on your discreet yet very persistent and efficient work on the ground in support of minority rights, an important issue for France and Germany, but also for the entire European Union. It is important to mention this within the framework of the GSP Plus mechanism. The recent EU monitoring mission mission to Pakistan confirmed that minority rights are a key factor, among others, in assessing Pakistan's commitment to implementing the conventions related to the GSP Plus scheme. Mr. Satyani, we extend our warmest congratulations to you and to all those who have supported you and your work in the field of human rights. May this award encourage all courageous human rights activists and defenders to continue the commitment, knowing that your achievements are fully recognized and supported internationally. I will now give the floor to Ambassador Lepel before we formally present to you the medal and the diploma of this prize, but I have a special request because the names of the 14 recipients of this prize, including your name, will be officially announced tomorrow by our two governments on December 10th, on the occasion of the International Human Rights Day, which, as you know, commemorates the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in Paris on December 10th, 1948. So I would therefore be very grateful, and in particular to friends from the media, if they can respect just a few hours discussion until they release the name, if you can refrain from disclosing the name of the 2025 Pakistani Prize recipient until tomorrow. I don't know at what time, but it has to be released. It has to be shown 10th of December, not tonight. Please. Thank you in advance for your discretion and understanding. Congratulations again. Merci beaucoup. Dankeschön. Thank you. Shukriya.
Gentlemen, dear friends, we have come together to honor Mr. Pirbhu Satyani for his outstanding work in defending human rights, in particular of minority groups and rights of the child. When we talk about minorities, we refer to groups that are smaller in number, but whose voice, values and identities are just as significant as anyone else's. These can be racial, ethnic, religious minorities, or any group that finds itself outside the dominant or mainstream culture. They are often vulnerable to being overlooked, oppressed, or marginalized. But at the core of any truly just society lies the recognition that the rights of all people, regardless of their background, must be upheld. Especially in this day and age of social polarization, however, people belonging to minorities and not to mainstream face significant discrimination and hardship, made worse when they belong to several minorities at once, as also mentioned by minorities. And this is very much the case for the group of bilingual Dalits, whom today's laureate has given a voice and much needed attention. But Mr. Pirbhu Satyani, you have not just raised awareness of the issue, but also worked for practical steps forward in protecting children from forced marriage or forced labor, promoting birth registration, or acting against bonded labor, all of which particularly concerns minority groups and among them the Dalits. It is therefore most fitting that you have been selected as this year's recipient of the Franco-German Human Rights Award. Among the many values that France and Germany share wholeheartedly, defending the human rights of women, children, and minorities take a special place. Congratulations, therefore, and best wishes for the continued success of your important work.
And in case you lose the medal,
thank you very much. So can I say two things? Just I wrote down, and maybe it's not final version. Honorable Mr. Aina Lepel of Germany and Nicholas of France, I thank you for your kind words and recognition. And for me, this is not only a recognition or honor, but I take this as a responsibility and as a milestone to work ahead in the future. Human rights issues are global issues, we all know. Somewhere are less, somewhere are more. It exists everywhere. But in Pakistan, there are so many challenges. Particularly the religious minorities, Dalit women and children, they face multiple challenges. Every year, we have hundreds of minority girls. They are being abducted, converted and married off. And if you take the data, the 70% of these girls are underage. 22%, they are below the age of 14. and majority of these girls are, from Sindh province and from the Dalit community. Many of you, I always, hear Mr. Senator Saib. The Dalit community in the Sindh province or in the Punjab, they are landless, they are illiterate, and they don't have their own shelter. Therefore, they have to work in the agriculture or in bricklayer area, where they are trapped in the bondage. And their girls are, they are weak, so their girls are easily targeted for the abduction and kidnapping. So this is the serious issue, and we need to work on that. And even, if you see, there is no such legislation that protects to these girls. Another issue is 26.2 million children are out of school in Pakistan. And the minority children, they face a discrimination in school. In my daughter, when I enrolled in Islamabad school, she was offered Islamiyat. There is no separate subject for the minorities children. A curriculum that is not inclusive, and that limit the inclusive learnings, and we need to also tackle these challenges. Another issue is I would like to highlight the sanitation. In Pakistan, the minority population is less than 4%, but the sanitation work is carried out by the 80% work is carried out by this less than 4% population. Mostly the Christians and Hindus. So this is another phenomena that where we are living in this country. I am very much convinced that human rights violations are neither permanent and not unavoidable. These are created by the people, and these can be ended by the people. But ending them requires a courage, consistency, and collective action. I call all of you who are here, the investors, UN agencies, the different the stakeholder, human rights expert, they are here to step forward to protect the rights of the marginalized communities and their children. We need a stronger investment in inclusive education and firm measure to prevent the forced marriages and forced conversion, supported by the effective legislation and sensitization of the police and judiciary in the Pakistan. We must also invest in youth from minority communities. We should provide a scholarship, particularly in legal education, to build a stronger generation of human rights defenders and lawyers from minority communities to defend their rights. So I think this award has strengthened my commitment to continue my work with same spirit and zeal. I have always stood for the voiceless, as they mentioned, and I will continue to stand with them. My struggle will continue. Thank you.